Hey y'all, you hear me talk about AI all the time, but today I'm gonna bring you back, way back to 2016. When I first started at Southeastern Grocers, I got my computer and I got an adding machine. What's an adding machine? To be honest, I had to Google it today to find out what it actually is called, but it's one of these. So why? Everything was on paper. Our estimates were all done on paper, change orders were submitted by our contractors on paper, everything was on paper. So to verify our numbers, we would go to our little adding machine and type it up, a receipt would print out, you'd staple your receipt to the piece of paper, put it in a purple folder, and then it would circulate around the office for signatures. This process had worked for them for like 40 years, literally 40, maybe 50 years. And that's great, but this was about to change. One day, my boss dropped a folder about this thick on my desk, and he says, Genevieve, I got a job for you. We need to remodel 55 stores in a 3-month construction duration, and by the way, you only have 2 months to prepare. I first looked at him and I said, challenge accepted, and then I started thinking to myself, yikes, we gotta come up with something better here. So what did I do? I started to think about how we could build processes to actually scale our program. Instead of looking at one project individually, I looked at them holistically as a single program. And how did I do this? I didn't start looking at it on paper. I used the tool at my disposal, which was Excel. I created schedules, budgeting models, even a communication plan, all through Excel. Now, at first, my peers were looking at me like, who's this crazy Yankee with all these new ideas? But then, as my project was rolling and things were going well, and really well, and even better, and finally the project was delivered, all 55 of them, pretty much without a hitch, I got the attention of the rest of the team. And they started to ask me questions like, hey, how did you do that? And before I knew it, my processes were starting to roll out to the rest of the department. And we were able to then, not just in my one project scale, but we were able to, as an entire unit, we were able to scale our processes and scale our program and build more stores than we ever had before. I ultimately got to lead the team. I then moved on. I went to Grocery Outlet, 7-Eleven, and Get-Go, where I had the opportunity to scale store growth and build programs at those companies. The one thing that I realized was you can't do anything at scale unless you have standardization. If you're building snowflakes, you're going to keep building snowflakes and it's going to take forever and you're going to move at a snail pace and it's going to be very expensive. You need to get to cookie cutters. And how are we going to stamp out those stores? So what I'm super excited about is that I've been able to take those learnings from my career and that experience that I have in building processes and scaling store growth. And now, instead of just working with one brand at a time, I get to work with many brands, hopefully all the brands. So about a year ago, I started working on a new project. Now, with my partner, Aleem, we are building Surface. It is the world's first AI assistant specifically designed to support repeatable construction management. I am so excited about this and would love to tell you more about what I'm working on. But first, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me, how have you scaled growth at your companies? What are some lessons that you've learned? Please comment below.